Yo, good looks to dreadsock.com for sponsoring this episode of Real Notes. Anyone who has curly or locked hair like me knows how sacred a good hair wrap is. A do-rag, a wave cap, a scarf, a bandana, a bonnet, you name it. Dreadsock goes a step beyond the average with silk-based head wraps that offer full protection and frizz control for curls from 2A to 4C. They're made of a blend of breathable materials to help retain hair's moisture and preserve hairstyles enough to ensure a few less trips to the salon, all held down with an elastic band strong enough to withstand even the most aggressive head trips. Whether you wear one to bed or wear one on the go, Dreadsock will have you looking fresh and full. Socks come in all sizes, from shorties for short hair and beginner twists to extra large for the longer locked folks out there. Look, y'all, I've been growing my locks for nearly 2 decades and have been a loyal Dreadsock customer for 15 years. So when I tell you these shits work, I'm dead ass. Plus, they're an independent, black-owned business that's worth the time and energy. So go to dreadsock.com and use promo code CineMasai, that's CineMasai, for 10% off your first order. They won't fall off in your sleep, but they will keep you looking fresh. Thanks again to Dreadsock for sponsoring the episode. Now let's keep this shit moving. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Roper, one half of the New Jersey-based production duo Roper Williams. We spoke about the Western film Bone Tomahawk, the times we've walked out of movies, cult horror films like Await Further Instructions, Chopping Mall, and Skinamarink, the jazz anime Blue Giant, how he and his partner Sanz first met, came up with their name and their creative process, and break down the process behind their latest project, Infinite Victory Loop, featuring Fatboi Sharif, YL, AKAI SOLO, and Pootie. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? What's cracking, people? Welcome back. Hang on, I gotta do that again. I fucked up. This is the first time I've ever fucked up a drop, but what's up? What's cracking? What's happening? Welcome back. Welcome back to Real Notes. We're it's a beautiful day. Like it's kind of chilly out, but like things are happening for a lot of people. Just I don't know. Like I was feeling a little down 2 days ago just because of like things are looking up. Let's just put it that way. I'm gonna tell you about it later. But things are looking up. It's cold out, but it's feeling good. I got a smoothie and some water, and we're cooling. Dylan Green, CineMasai, got a lot of names, do a lot of shit. Be outside. Halloween's coming up. Go eat some candy corn and watch something scary, or go to a haunted house. Like I promise, the haunted house will make you feel so much better about your life. But I'm with somebody today whose music makes me feel incredibly grateful to be alive. Has for a minute. I feel like everyone on planet Earth is just now learning that he's one half of a duo, which is super fun for me as someone who's known that for a little while. But this man's he's a producer extraordinaire, Jersey's finest. He's produced for all your favorites, produced for fucking Emelian Dor and New Balance, and like we got Roper Williams. Roper's here, son. Like fucking Infinite Victory Loop's out now. It's been out for a couple weeks. It's super dope. They made this shit 3 years ago, and it sounds like it was made last week. Roper, thank you so much for being here again. You were here early on, like episode like 5 with Sharif. But the love is appreciated.
Pleasure to be here, man. And yeah, like off the rip, once you had the concept to begin with, you know, we knew that the show was going to be awesome. Me and Fatboy when we came on, so it's dope to see how far you've taken it, how consistent you've been with it, and all that. Really.
Yeah, nah, like I'm just trying to keep up with y'all at this point, man. Like it's like there's so much inspiring and beautiful things happening out here right now, and I just want to, you know, like I want to document as much of this as I can and just like have fun and talk about shit that we all would be talking about anyway, you know. And it just means a lot to like y'all were early supporters. Like before I'd even recorded an episode, y'all were super interested, and you know, like that meant a lot to me. So it's just you know, like this is a nice little family reunion. I don't really do I don't really do returning guests like that. So, that's and I mean, like, it's nice to have you on by yourself, but like,
No, for
but yeah,
sure.
like,
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
yeah, no, you reached out and the project's great, so it was a done deal, son. But let me okay, so yeah, now let me ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about.
The first thing that comes to my mind would be I watched what's it called? Bone Tomahawk.
What the fuck is that?
It's kind of like a Western, but it's a horror movie too, I guess. It's been out for a while. I heard people talk about it and like oh yeah, it's super gruesome, blah blah blah. So I wanted to check it out, and yeah, it was pretty messed up, to be honest. It was kind of like it's West. I don't know, it was Western vibes, but like it got one of those scenes in it where it's kind of like I brought this up last time on the show too, but Scanners, when the dude's head explodes, like, and you're just like, what was that? Like, it got one of those type of scenes where you're like, that was one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a while. So I enjoyed it. Bone Tomahawk, yeah, it's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, damn,
Yeah, it's
Richard
a cool
Jenkins,
cast.
David
Russell's
Arquette.
awesome.
Yeah, no, no, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I will say, aside from that, I let my girl pick the movies 2 times previously, and it was some of the worst movies I've ever seen. So maybe my tolerance was low, but the movie was fire. We watched this movie called Await Further Instructions.
Oh, that came out like, oh man, that shit's almost like 10 years old. I don't know that I ever saw it.
It was don't see it, man. It was terrible.
Yeah. Like what didn't you like about it?
Everything. You know what I mean? Like it started off and it was like, all right, there was a girl and I'm like, this girl's pretty, so we can like, that buys you 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Like before I start to complain. And then, but like in the beginning, it kind of had me like, all right, let's see what happens. I don't know. I just have a tough time giving up on movies and stopping them. So I just like, I'll put myself through the pain of watching the whole thing. It was just corny, man. Like it was just disappointing. Like it was disappointment after disappointment, really. Like, and then I think there was like a deep meaning to it. I forgot if there, like, I don't know, but it was. I'm in the process of deleting it from my brain, so like I can't really get into the details of it. But it was like a TV was giving them instructions and like, oh, chop your father's arms off. Like I don't know, like fake Saw type stuff. I guess I don't know.
Oh shit! I just realized I was thinking of a completely different movie from before. It's something else called like Instructions Not Included. It's not a horror movie at all. So I've never heard of this either.
Yeah,
I'm looking
that's
at it now. It doesn't look super tight, but
no, but look, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes review or score, it's decent.
Yeah.
Like it's like 80s or something.
Oh, really?
And it's like I think so. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's kind of how we got tricked into it. And like my girl was like, "Here's the movie," and I didn't like peep the description or nothing. I just like trusted her for some reason.
Because it's love, bro. That's where the trust comes from,
Yeah.
always. But what was the other one?
It's a long-term plan. What
was the other one?
The other one was a fake Saw. The other one was a fake Shining. So I forget what it was called, but it was like right from the beginning, you're like, oh, and then it literally ends with them like running in the snow at the end, and I'm like, all right, man. Like I said, I don't give up on movies. I see them all the way through a lot of times. So
yeah, nah, same. Like, so it's some shit's got to be real bad for me to cut it off. Like, like I'm like you just unlocked 2 memories in my brain. I think in my life I've walked out of 3 movies.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you walked out of a movie, like in the theater. You're saying, like you paid for the ticket, and you're like, know what? I'm out of here. What were the 3?
So the first one I remember is 4. So like one I didn't walk, like there was one I didn't walk out of because I didn't like it. I had to go somewhere else. So the first one was White Chicks. because
Wow.
I think I think I told this story before. So me, my dad, and one of my lifelong best friends, Solomon, who you may have met at the live shit. I love you, Solomon. We went to go see the movie, and my grandmother, who was alive at the time, wound up being in the hospital about halfway through, so we left. And to this day, I've seen the whole movie, never in one piece. I've seen like I know every scene from White Chicks, but I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen the movie from beginning to end. So that
That
was the
movie's
one.
crazy. That's a good timestamp movie right there. Like that's a good moment
Yeah,
in time movie.
truly, I love that movie, man. So like that's the one. So like that's the one that I walked out of because I had a thing to go do. The other three we saw. You ever see Be Cool, the sequel to Get Shorty with John Travolta and like The
I don't
Rock and
think
shit?
so. I don't think so. That sounds terrible.
It's
You
it's
said
it's,
John
it's
Travolta and The Rock?
John Travolta and The Rock.
All right.
So
All right, man.
yeah.
That one's self-explanatory.
Yeah, so but it's crazy because like we went, like it was a birthday party, and like I saw the trailer and I really wanted to see the movie for my birthday, so it was me and like 4 or 5 of my friends, and once again my dad took us, and we made it probably about 20-30 minutes in, and everybody was like, we hate this. And I look at my dad and he's like, this shit is trash, and we're like, do we just want to go? And like it was just like a parade of kids and a
Yeah,
dad just leaving a movie
that's
theater.
crazy. Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know what you expected to be. I don't know how you got hyped up for that one, but
I don't know, man.
the
I was
trailers
easy to
must have been
please back
crazy.
then.
The trailers must have been on point. Sometimes they get you with the trailer.
Yeah. And then the second one was this one's even worse. I'm so embarrassed to say this, but me and a bunch of friends went to go see Grown Ups 2. I don't know why. Like one, like like we just kind of went to go see whatever, and
You're
like
big on sequels.
somebody was like, we should go see Grown Ups 2, and we made it to the point where like it, once again, like 20-30 minutes in, there's like one of the kids is like eating dinner or something, and like they want to have like chocolate ice cream, and they just like, I want to get choco wasted, and I hopped up and said, I'm done, and I left. Like I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
like
not
fuck
doing
it.
this shit.
You get a free
Hell
refill on the
no.
way out. The popcorn.
Like I was so tight. But and then the other one, actually no. The last one I walked out of was another one that I wound up hating at the time, but love now. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
I've never
Which,
seen that.
so that's great. It's another well, it's not a sequel, but it's like a
Jesus.
spiritual successor to another. Trying to think of how to explain this. So the first Bad Lieutenant is a movie about a cop played by Harvey Keitel who lives. I think
Okay,
he
yeah.
lives.
Yeah. I seen that movie. I seen that movie for sure.
Yeah, nah. The first Bad Lieutenant's really cool. The second one's the one that I saw. It was in theaters. It was directed by Werner Herzog. It stars Nicolas Cage. I was a little mad because I had wanted to go see Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I was just like being a hater, and I like left halfway through the movie. I was being an asshole. But like I went back and watched the movie on my own. It's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
Nah, you know what?
It's
Sometimes it's like that. I remember my boy went to he had been hyping up The Witch crazy. And,
You didn't like The Witch?
and I'm like, well, here's the thing. I go in and I had never seen none of this dude's movies or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm watching and I'm like, yo, this movie's terrible. Like, this is one of the worst movies I ever seen. I'm thinking it's gonna be something like scary, but it's more like, you know what I mean? But it's like now I find myself putting that movie on the screen a lot and muting it and like making beats. Like, it is a crazy movie, like, you know what I mean? But it was just the expectations and like going to the, like, oh, we're going to the movies to see this. I'm paying,
Yeah.
however much it was at the time. Like, so, but yeah, and turned out it was all right. Yeah, I had my walkout story. I just realized this. First of all, I went with a bunch of people to see Paul Bart Mall Cop. And
Yo.
and like, I don't know, like at a certain point, like I was with like 8 people, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna just wait outside. Like I just couldn't stand for it. And then
Yeah.
and then the other one, it was It was at a time where Mike Myers and Adam Sandler had just put out those 2 movies. One was Love Guru.
Not the love. Oh, that might be like top 3 worst movies I've ever seen in my life. That shit is so ass.
Wait, was the Love Guru Mike Myers though?
No, Mike Myers.
So
Yeah.
all right, so he had that, and then I'm pretty certain this is, unless I'm just making this up in my head, that that Adam Sandler had another movie at the same.
I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what it was.
At the same time, hold on, that was like damn near the same movie. I went to see one.
Yeah. Man,
this just unlocked the memory. Oh, yo.
Yeah. Which, so
I walked out
you don't
of it into the other.
Yeah. So you don't remember what the Adam Sandler movie was?
What?
You don't remember what the Adam Sandler movie was?
Nah, I gotta look it up, man. I'm
That's
trying to
funny
think, but I walked out of it I walked out of Love Guru into the Adam Sandler movie, and it was equally bad. And I walked out of that when I did 2 straight walkouts back to back, and I was just like, I'm
Wow.
like, yo, what the fuck? I gotta go home.
That's wow. Two back-to-back walkouts in the same day is crazy.
It was like across the hall. Like, this is, I don't know. I gotta look this up. Maybe I'm falsifying it.
So I'm looking right now. The Love Guru came out in 2008, and Adam Sandler had 2 movies out in 2008. He was it You Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yes, that was it. That was it. I'm like, yo, how did this happen? Like, I felt like I walked out, like, I don't know. I was like, I walked out into one terrible movie, and then I walked into a different terrible movie that was damn near like the same terrible movie, like same like another like box office head comedian doing a random fringy bit for an hour and a half. I don't know, man. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I love Mike Myers and Adam Sandler. I love Mike Myers and Adam Sandler. Austin Powers, the second Austin Powers might be the best sequel ever. Like, if you take out Godfather, you know what I'm saying? Or Beverly Hills Cop 2, but like, and then, you know, Adam Sandler. That's, you know.
Yeah, he
went crazy.
They both got classics. Yeah. You can't deny that. But yeah, the Love Guru is awful. Like, I can't believe I can't believe somebody put money toward that movie. Awful. Like, in so many ways, like, people got paid to like make sets, and somebody got paid to write that movie.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
that's one of the, like, whew, I couldn't believe it. I walked out quick too. I walked out quick. It was like I didn't need to see much of that to know, like, this is bad.
I'm out here busting my ass for pennies as a freelancer, and people are getting paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars to write movies like The Love Guru. Like, that's crazy.
And it's like, man, and I'm like, all right, you know, at least I'll go and see a different movie. It's another terrible movie. Like, that was a low point in cinema. That whatever month that was in, whatever, you know, months that was in box office.
Yeah, that and you know what's crazy? That was the year the fucking recession started too. 08 was when that first recession started. So yeah, we were down bad in 08.
No more nice things. It's all gonna be bad from here.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. Before I ask you my next question, I wanted to I don't interject super often with movies that I've seen recently, but there's one that I like need to talk about and I haven't talked about yet, that I saw I want to say like 2-3 weeks ago at this point. So there's this manga called Blue Giant that's about a bunch of Japanese kids who like form a jazz band and like take their jazz band it's just like them. Like, I don't know how familiar with like manga and anime you are, but it's basically like a shonen, like in the One Piece or like Dragon Ball sense, where it's just like this one person who's like super determined. This one boy who's like super determined to do a thing, and like he just does it no matter what, and he's super hard headed, and he's just
willpower, power, friendship,
right? And he's like dumb nice at the thing he does too. So it's like. So, but like instead of like wanting to be like the greatest fighter in the universe or like a superhero, he just wants to play saxophone. Like he's like dumb nice on the tenor sax, and he finds a great pianist to play with him, and like his roommate starts playing the drums, and the whole movie is just like them. They form a band, and like it's like all the shonen beats, but like they go to like a fake Blue Note jazz cafe, and like they play
Yeah.
shows, and there's like all is lost moment where somebody gets injured at the end. It's the best movie I've seen all year, bro.
Oh, it's a movie,
Like,
not a show. Oh, you're saying they
yeah,
put it into a movie?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot that part. Sorry, but
And
like,
it's
son,
called Blue Giant.
it's called Blue Giant.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah, I like all that shit. I love when they put that spirit of like, like Gon and Killua, or like Zoro and all the One Piece people into
Yeah,
like something that's not violent, like necessarily. Like it just makes it funny, the intensity, because it's all like psychological, I guess. Like,
mm-hmm.
you ever see that biking show? It's a biking
Yeah,
anime. And it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
intense. They're intense about like wind, like, oh, the wind is blowing this way. Like it's stuff like that. Like I love that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, this is like, like they take it pretty seriously, and like all the show scenes are nuts. Like like it's directed by the guy who directed Mob Psycho 100. So like the way they do it, the animation style is like when it's like a regular not music scene, it's all like hand drawn, and then
Yeah, yeah.
all the music scenes are all done in 3D with like computer effects, and like and like he'll be like playing the saxophone, and like he'll be playing the piano, and like it's like fireballs are like flying everywhere. They do like the Oppenheimer thing where it's
Yeah.
like you can see his like creative process where like the sparks are going off in his brain, but they do that with the music, and the music is like the soundtrack's amazing. This
It gotta be.
yeah, no, they got this Japanese jazz composer and pianist. Her name is Hiromi, to do the whole soundtrack, and like it's like all I'm gonna say is, when I don't want to spoil it, but like when the movie ended, I was sobbing, bro. Like I
Oh,
can't remember the
Jesus
last time I was like
Christ.
crying at the end of a movie.
All right,
Like,
that's a good warning, I guess. I might have to. I don't know if I'll watch. I might have to watch that one alone.
yeah, that shit fucked me. And like, full disclosure, my sister, who I love, shout out to Joe, had a friend who like just like he had tickets to go to the screening. We went to like the Universal Music Group building, and like we saw it in like this nice ass room, and Hiromi came out and did 3 songs
That's
after.
that's crazy.
It was like I've seen a lot. I watch a lot of movies naturally, and there's been there's been a handful out this year that I like really loved, but like, I was kind of like, like I was like, there's like 2 or 3 that I could say that I really, really loved, and this one was like, I was in tears. Like, it was really crazy. It takes a lot to make me cry, and that shit had me. It's just like one of those, like, the power of art, the power of friendship. Like, it's just like, like, you don't even have to
Yeah.
like jazz to fuck with the movie. Like, it's just like, if you're passionate about anything, you'll relate to. It's just it's like so schmaltzy, but like it got me, man. Like it got me
Nah,
so
I mean,
bad.
I'm a Cancer, so I'm if it if it I'm doomed. But yeah, you saying it was the Mob Psycho animator, so I definitely
Yeah.
got to see that, because that whoever, yeah, the Mob Psycho is crazy, and it's specifically with the way they switch up. Like every episode they do, like they throw in a random style basically. So I definitely got to watch that just based off that.
Yeah, it's worth it. It was they because like it's been out in Japan since I think February, but they did I want to say last weekend they had like a limited. It was only in theaters for like Sunday and Monday of like last week, which is like, I'm sure you could find it like on VOD, or maybe you could even look it up online or something. But like, when you get like, I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody listening, like, please go watch Blue Giant. Like, it really knocked me on my ass in a way I wasn't expecting. So, yeah,
Word. No, yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. Yeah.
hell yeah.
I'm on the fence if I want to watch it with my girl, because my girl is the one who is like, I'll be like, go on the movie website. She knows the website, so you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, no. So does Desiree. Same here.
I might have to involve her in this, and then she's gonna see me cry.
Man, it's worth it, bro. Have the bonding moment. Have the bonding moment.
Word.
Shit. But yeah, no, let's run it back with you in that case. What's the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Like the first thing that comes to mind for you.
I'm bad with like chronological, like what came first, like in my life, like was I 4, was I 7 type stuff. Like
Okay.
I definitely have early, like I know Forrest Gump, like being at my grandma's house. I remember like sitting on the floor watching that like movie, having no idea what's going on. Super boring because I'm like 5, like however old I was. It was
Right.
like on VHS or something. That was definitely an early one. Um, she had the phone with the big numbers. You remember those house phones that were on the wall,
Oh,
and if
hell
like the
yeah.
old people they couldn't see the numbers, so the numbers were huge. Um,
Yeah. 8 like as big as your fist and shit. Yeah, no, I
yeah, like beep. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, I had like, it's an early movie that was super hilarious to me because we said Adam Sandler.
yeah.
Um, what's the one where he's playing golf?
Oh, Happy Gilmore.
That movie was like when I was a kid. Like, I don't know if anything made me laugh as much as that. Like, is it like really all his movie because he kind of embodies a kid. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm bad with early memories. I know like I think last time I was on, I was telling you about going to see the Pokemon movie with my friends, and my mom hated it.
Right.
It was amazing to me though. The new
Yeah,
Pokemon
it's
Journey
fire.
stuff. I don't know if you've seen all the Pokemon Journey, the Netflix Pokemon stuff.
Nah,
I
not
don't know if
yet.
you
I
care
haven't.
about Pokemon at all, but
I do, like I'm not like super committed, but like like, I'm not opposed to Pokemon. Like if it's on, I'll watch it. Like,
word, yeah. No, yeah, I've been loving the Netflix ones. Uh, yeah, I don't know, like definitely seeing Psycho. Psycho scared me. Like Psycho gave me the fear of like like I had to do the move the curtain thing. Seeing
yeah,
Scream, I saw Scream too early. I was afraid of public restrooms for a while. Like I was just like every public restroom I went to, I checked underneath the stalls.
wow.
I'm like, all right, I can pee. Like I don't know till what age, but that was definitely a thing in my life. Um, I like horror movies for that reason because they can really traumatize you. Sometimes I want to show like horror movies to my nieces and nephews because it'll just be funny, but I'm like, this is gonna like cause something serious,
Right.
So you got to be careful.
So if you weren't worried about the consequences, what's a horror movie you would show your niece and nephew?
Oh man, um, it got to be like it can't be like The Shining because it's like or anything too long or anything
Yeah.
with subtitles. Uh, man, I would want it to be something really gory. So you ever seen the movie Martyrs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, nah, like New French Extremity, that was my shit for well, I don't want to say that was my shit. That's not the type of movie you say that's my shit. But like I
I'm
like
like,
that
oh,
movie.
word? Nah, yeah, that movie's crazy though.
Yeah, that movie's wild.
That's a
Yeah,
movie
no,
where like they would be locked in, like watching this straight violence, I guess.
yeah, nah, cause like cause like the movie opens with the fucking family getting murdered in the kitchen, and then it ends with a woman getting like flayed, and it's just like her like just like the meat on her bones and like her
Crazy.
face, and they're just like Martyrs is like it's a part of this for anybody who doesn't know. It's a part of this movement like in the early 2000s called the New French Extremity, where like hella French film directors were just wanted to make like the craziest, most gory horror you could possibly imagine. Like it's like a part of a series, or like the movie itself isn't a part of a series, but like it was like a part of there's like a bunch of other movies in that scene from that time that just like that's a fucked up movie, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
that's that. Yeah, I think like the first time I watched it, I had to stop. I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this one right now. I got to revisit this because it was like it was overwhelming me how violent it was.
Yeah, man. Like it's like that, and that was like how I was the first time. You ever see Antichrist? Lars von Trier's Antichrist?
Is that the one with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yo,
That's
you
the
know what's
one.
funny about that? You know what's funny about that? I've only seen the first 30 minutes of it because I was watching it at my boy's crib, me, him, and his cousin, and the internet cut out 30 minutes in. Like, we just never finished. So basically, I just saw the scene with his dick in it, and then the internet cut out, and the baby jumping off the thing. I'm like, oh, great.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, wow, what a great movie. Never revisited that one.
Yo, it got, there's, once again, fucked up movie. Lots
I
of
love Willem Dafoe though.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's the GOAT. He's amazing. I'm assuming you've seen The Lighthouse.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, The
For
Lighthouse.
sure.
Lighthouse.
That movie's
modern
crazy.
classic. Modern classic. Like, I'm blown by how much that movie kind of, yeah, it's crazy. But I was gonna say, if you're looking for something gory, you ever hear of a movie called Brain Dead? Or actually no, in the States it's called Dead Alive. You ever hear of that?
I don't know. Is that the one that has mad sequels? No.
No. Mm-mm.
No, that's
So,
Dead.
like,
That's Evil Dead. My bad.
yeah, no, that's
Dead
Evil
Alive.
Dead. Yeah, so Dead Alive is the first movie that Peter Jackson, who made the Lord of the Rings movies, he made, like, when he was still out in Australia and New Zealand. And it's just this movie about it's this movie where, like, I think so, like, a zookeeper goes out to find this rare, they call it like a Sumatran rat monkey. So they like bring this, they bring this rat monkey back, and it starts, like, biting and infecting people, and it's like turning people into zombies. And it's just, like, super silly, over the top, like it's like super duper campy. I mean, like, I'd imagine it could be a little scary for a kid, but, like, it's like so silly and ridiculous.
It's like, what is it, like early 80s or something? Or
late 80s, early 90s. I think it might be I think it might have been 91, but, like, it has what's considered the goriest scene in any movie ever. Like, at the end of the movie, somebody takes a lawnmower, like one of the big ass, like, wind up ones with the blade on the bottom, and, like, runs through a whole crowd of, and it's, it's just like, like, all the blood's, like, super fake. It looks like strawberry yogurt and cherry jello. Like, it's like, not super, but it's just funny and stupid and fun.
Nah.
It's that's like a movie I watch with my sister every year. Like, I love stuff like that.
I do love a good feel good, really stupid horror movie. What's that one with all the robots in the mall? You know what I'm talking about? It's like little drunk, like, I don't know. Oh man, but it's like an 80s, or it's like a late 80s movie like that.
Shit. No, I don't think I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, it's just, movies like
Is it called Shopping Mall?
yeah, Chopping Mall.
I've never heard of this. This is from '86.
yeah. Really stupid movie. You know what I mean? But
this
also,
sounds
it's like
great.
it's the mall in the 80s. So, like, that's dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's tight. I love that. No, that's great.
You have Shudder?
Yeah, I got Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder, like, they always got, like, random stupid movies like that.
All right. Yeah, nah, I might tap in tonight, honestly. That sounds yeah, in the years since its release, Chopping Mall has gone on to develop a cult following and has been subjected to film criticism for its perceived themes of human consumption and excess. Yeah, this sounds great. I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'm all in on that shit. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's pretty terribly great.
Yeah, I love. I'm all in on stuff like, especially, like, it's October. All I want to do is watch shit like that. So yeah, no, I'm in.
Yeah.
So as you get, hell yeah. So as you get older and you start to have more life experiences and start to, like, develop more of your brain and shit, was there a movie around that time, or really at any time really, that, like, something that really, like, connected with you on, like, some capital M movie shit, like something that, like, whether that be, like, artistically or, like, emotionally or whatever, just, like, something that really, like, hits you more than just, like, this is 90 minutes of stupid entertainment?
You're saying when I was younger or more recently?
Whenever, really. It could be just like something that really stopped you and was like, this is a film or whatever, like.
Yeah. I was watching. You know what? You know who was a crazy one? I'm saying this like it's not obviously a crazy one. Eyes Wide Shut. Like when I watched that, like the messaging that the moral of that story that I took from that was it was. I'm not even gonna say what it is, but I definitely walked away from that movie with like, okay, that feels like good advice. Like, it sounds like a weird thing to not explain, but with that movie specifically, like I'm not talking about like joining the Illuminati or whatever the hell they were doing, but yeah, that for sure. Um, I mean, I'm married now. I just seen Possession for the first time, so that's like that's like a marriage nightmare movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever seen that, but that's
Wait, sorry, which one?
the movie Possession.
No, I'm thinking of Possessor. I don't. Wait, remind me what Possession is.
Possession is a movie. The whole thing is it kind of looks blue. I think it's from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a married couple, and it's just like their life is just their marriage is absolutely terrible. Like, you know what I mean? And then it gets even further than that. It gets like super weird. Like you should if you've never seen Possession, you got to check that out.
Yeah.
That's like just on the way it's shot, like it's a very like, you know, it's a beautiful movie, and then just it's like extremely disturbing movie, like from just like first the relationship aspect, but then where they take it, it's just like what is going on type of. Some days I just think about it, is I can't even explain it without ruining the movie to you. So
Okay.
you gotta see that, and then we'll talk about it next time I see you at a show.
Yeah, no, definitely. I found the Wikipedia page. I'm all in on that too. Like maybe not all in. Like I'm sure that's gonna be the type of thing that like ruins my night. But you know,
dude,
like
I was
I'm
gonna
ready.
say, Possession and Shopping Mall are super different ends of the spectrum of entertainment. Like even though they're both horror movies, so
Right. Yeah.
just depends on your mood. If you feel very cerebral, you know what I seen? That was dope to me. What was that movie called? Skinamarink.
Yeah, no, Sharif and I talked about it because I saw it when it came out, and
Yeah, I saw it in the theaters.
right, yeah, no, because he was telling me he was tight that he missed going to see it with you because he still hasn't seen it yet.
Yep.
I don't think, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think he has.
Yeah. So tell me, so okay, that's a love it or hate it one. I've talked to a lot of
I
people
saw
about it.
people walked out of that when I saw it. People walked out of
Yeah.
that.
I loved Skinamarink, bro. I was one of my favorite movies of the year. That
Yeah,
shit was so tight.
that movie was ill, and like so I saw it in theaters. I'm like, this is crazy, right? And then, and first of all, like in theaters, we saw it super late, and at a certain point, I fell asleep a little bit, and I
Yeah,
felt like that added to the movie so crazy
there,
because
yeah,
because of the nature of the movie. Like I woke up and I'm just like, I don't know, like being in that sleepy zone for it was super scary. And then I watched it at the crib one night. Like not really watched it. I had it on in the background because there's not much dialogue, so it's like it's sounds and
yeah,
stuff. I'm like I could play it and make beats, right? But it was so creepy on in the background because it was like 3 a.m. Like that's the setting of the movie basically. I was like, I
yeah,
got to turn this off. This is like scary. Like this, it's making me think there's things in the house. And so like when that happened, I was like, yeah, I respect this movie because it literally like they're not saying anything, and it scared me enough that I had to take it off the TV. So
right. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like people don't, like that's the thing that really gets me about it. It's just it's. I feel so pretentious and stupid for saying shit like this, but it's like, but it's like how people would talk about jazz and be like, it's about the notes they're not playing,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's that type of movie where it's like, like the whole idea is that it's all so scary and terrifying because you don't, like it's all about the stuff that you can't see. Everything's like just out of reach, just out of view. It's all like a non-diegetic sound, which for the not film people means like not non-diegetic. Like diegetic sound is stuff that you know, like you can hear it, but you see where the source is. So non-diegetic is sounds like you can hear it, but you don't know where it's coming from. Like the
Yeah.
whole movie is non-diegetic sound basically, and like it plays with your, it plays, you know, like I saw it at the IFC Center because I was in the city and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And like the hype had just started. So I saw it and I was like, oh, that was ill. And then my sister's birthday was a week later and Joe was like, I want to go see this. And I'm like, let's go back and see it. So I saw it a second time. And then I showed Desiree maybe about a month later. And Desiree's not like an atmosphere, like not like the stuff you can't hear see person. Like if nothing's happening in a movie, Desiree's gonna hate that movie.
Yeah,
Like
nothing too abstract. Don't get too abstract with it.
exactly. And like Desiree's a huge horror movie fan, but like we finished it. Des is like, this is awful. Like, why do you like this? And I had to sit there and just be like, it's about the shit that you can't, you know?
Yeah,
like,
literally. It's like, all right, I guess you don't get it.
Yeah,
That's why it feels so pretentious. But it is just a matter
of I feel like a tool saying that shit, you know? Like,
nah, but you know what? Because of that, like we're watching it in the theater, and this couple left, like they walked out like maybe 20 minutes in. And when the movie finished, I loved it, but I was like, that couple made the right decision.
yeah.
Like, because you peep in the beginning, there's nothing, like you're waiting for them to talk for 6 minutes, and then you're like, I don't know if they're gonna talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're waiting for some. I mean, me personally, at least, I literally went just based off of, I heard the title, and I'm like, that sounds crazy, and it was an independent horror movie. I'm like, all right, I'll go support that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna see that before I see like Spider-Man or something.
Right.
So I just literally just went based off of those two things. So I didn't know what I was getting into. So I was super confused. I'm sure they were too. And they were like, nah, we're out of here. But I mean, you ever had one of them like sleep paralysis type dreams?
Oh,
where you
hell yeah.
Where like you're like, you know, you're in a dream and you can't really talk, like you can't make sounds, stuff like that. Like it's oddly a familiar feeling, the movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's just like super, that's like lizard brain shit for me, you know. Like I definitely relate to like I grew up in I moved around a bunch as a kid, but like I grew up in houses that looked similar to that, and just like, you know, like these like big rooms that have like these like crazy looking corners, and it's just like, what's hot, you know, like it's like it made all the sense. Like it really hit me right in the heart, you know, like, and it was like, and like you, the first time I saw it, I fell asleep for like 5 minutes just because I was tired. And then, yeah, like, you know, like the whole point is that the movie's supposed to be like disorienting. And like it did add to the experience, you know, like, I mean, like I walked in knowing a little bit more because I had seen reviews going around, and like people I knew were already jacking it heavy and were like, this is amazing. And I'm like, okay, you know, so like I saw it was playing and I was like, you know what? Like, I just got paid. I got time. Let me go check it. And I loved it. You know, it was great. You know, it was just like, once again, that's a very like acquired taste. Like, if you get it, you get it, love it or hate it type of thing. And I'm all in. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, man. Me too. Me too. I love that movie.
Damn. Yeah. No, I'm I'm kind of mad I saw it as many times as I did because like I don't want to like dilute the effect too much, but I'd love to watch it like one more time. Maybe not this month, but like I want to see it in the theater again. So hopefully they put it back in theaters again. But
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, nah. So on the other side, to formally get into the music, when did music become capital M music for you? Like, when did it become like this? You know, like, I mean, I feel like most people I ask this question to, like, music's been a part of your life forever, but like, it's just like, when did it go from being like a passive thing that you heard in the background to being like music, you know?
Yeah. Really in like seventh and eighth grade, I think. Like when I got music, really the other half of Roper Sanz got Fruity Loops. It was called, you know, FL Studios, but it was just Fruity Loops at the time. And like once he got that, so I would just go over his crib and we would just make stuff on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like just doing that all the time, making, you know, some of the worst beats ever. I would say, yeah, because that 7th, 8th grade, yeah, that's when I definitely got, because like you said, I've always like my mom and dad are super into music, you know. I grew up. It's nonstop music. Like my girl, like it's funny because my girl and I lived with my mom for a while, and then my sister, who's older than me, like it was the same thing where like we moved out, but for a while we were there living with her. So both of our my girl, my sister's husband, were both driven crazy that every time we walk down the hallway, we have to sing. Like it's something that none of us ever noticed, but like we just, I don't know, it's the opportunity. You got the acoustics or something. We just have to, or we're just killing time. They're like, why do you sing every time you walk down the hallway? I don't know. So I come from like, it's always been about music, but seventh and eighth grade, once I got, the tools to actually make it, I guess.
Right. So when so okay, so when did the so when did the two of y'all first so like I assume y'all met like sometime in middle school or maybe before that. Like when did yeah,
Yeah.
when did
No, me and Sanz, we went to the same babysitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like the
okay,
apartment building I lived in, his grandmother lived in, and my babysitter was my like direct next door neighbor. So we've known each other since we're zero years old. Like, you know what I mean? So
got you.
it's like, it's not even, you know what I mean? Like, it's before we can remember. Like my first memories of him are like running around like playground type stuff.
Crazy. Yeah, no, I love. Yeah, no, I had no idea that it went back so far, and like, I think around the time, I forget where I saw it, or like maybe I had heard it. Maybe Sharif told, or somebody told me. Maybe you told me that like y'all were a duo, and like I was sitting around and like listening to some of your music, and then I saw the title, or excuse me, I saw your name, and then it was around the time I was writing that Wu-Tang thing for Pitchfork because I wrote about The Last Dragon. And then I remembered the
Word.
characters Roper and Williams. And I was
Yeah,
and then I ran into y'all at the I think it was the Alchemist and Rock Marciano shit. And I ran
yes,
up to you and I was like, y'all named yourselves after the dudes from The Last Dragon. And you were like, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Enter the Dragon. Enter the
Enter
Dragon.
the Dragon, excuse me, my fault.
Last
But
Dragon is also classic.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Two different movies though. My fault. But yeah, nah. Like it was like I just like at just like it was like a brain. It was like a head bust for me. I was like, whoa, like crazy. It
Yeah.
was like a perfect storm of shit. But anyway, so like when so like around seventh and eighth grade is when y'all really started to like get into it for real. But when did uh when did you know that music was going to become more than just a hobby and like a thing that you were like when were you a lifer? Like when was the time for y'all to really dig in on it?
Um, it's hard to say. I mean, I feel like really early. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like at the time I felt like in high school I was working really hard. In retrospect, I wasn't. I was chilling a lot. Like, you know what I mean? But in comparison to a lot of my friends, I was working more than like them on music and stuff like that. Like I'm an extreme person, so I think just from the start, like I've always had a certain vision and like like route in my head, like you know what I mean, and like to do it. So definitely at least in high school, like you know what I mean, like junior
Yeah.
year, sophomore year. I got kicked off the basketball team freshman year, and I was like, all right, I'm not playing sports no more. I'm not going pro. I don't think so.
Yeah, not doing that at least. But
Yeah, nobody needs a 6'3" center, so I don't think I'm gonna make it.
no, you could have been a point guard or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you're tall as a kid, they put you as the center. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the center. And then like once it's like, wait a second, I'm supposed to be the point guard. And then it's like, all right, my career's over. See you later, guys.
Right. Yeah, no, like I like a couple of years ago there was just like one video of like a this is like super duper tall white kid. It had to be at least 7 feet tall. And like it was like a middle school league. So like he's just like walking over all these kids and like he like barely has to jump to dunk. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I think I've seen that video.
That shit is so
I love
shit like
videos
that
like
makes
that.
me laugh so hard, man.
I had a boy. He wasn't exactly like that, but he was like so big when we were in like maybe like fifth grade or something. But he stopped
Yeah.
growing then. So it was like it was wild. But he was literally like Shaquille O'Neal in like sixth grade, and then by the time eighth grade came, it was just like I'll shoot some threes. Like it was crazy.
That's fire. Oh shit. So talk to me about your process a little bit, and like how you and Sanz make music together. Like how, like is like does like one of you come with does one of you come with drums? Does one of you come with samples? Like how does your process work? 'Cause the production duos aren't like they're not rare, but there's less of them now than there used to be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
for
always
sure. Yeah,
fascinated by that.
for sure. I mean, there's no like, there's no really set like consistent thing aside from the fact that he plays like live instrumentation, like you know what I mean. So
Mm,
um, stuff like that, like it that starts with him, like you know what I mean. So a lot of the stuff we do for ALD is non-samples. Like basically everything besides probably the first thing we did for them is non-sample. So because once they reached a certain point in notoriety, they couldn't pull it. You know what I mean? Now they have to like clear samples. So
right. Yeah. Yeah.
um yeah, like a lot like that stuff starts with him, and then but yeah, I mean it's everything. We'll like we send each other ideas, we bounce stuff off of each other. Um I don't know. I feel like our DNA in it is like it's very like Siamese twin, like where it's like I know his thoughts basically. He knows my thoughts. Like we're very in tune in that way. So the process is pretty like simple. Like it's pretty flowing. Like this, like I've never argued with him. Like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
so there's someone I've known my entire life, and I literally like I'll argue with you right now over anything. Like you know what I mean. So like um yeah. So like it's just a free like I don't know. We work like super well together, honestly. But I love just collaborating with any producers. I love working with like Drive By. I make so many beats with
Yeah. Shout out to Drivey. We love Drive By.
yeah, Benji, No Face, Iblis,
Mm,
like um so many dudes. Zumo, like I like you learn from all these dudes, like just at making beats from them. I learn from Sands when I make beats with him. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
No. Yeah. No. That's beautiful. And I wanted to, I wanted to highlight like five or so. Like it was hard to narrow it down, but there's like five songs that I was like really curious about how they came together. Like across everything y'all have done
Word.
over the course of the last like 5 years. And the first one that came to mind is one that I forgot it happened until I went and found it again. Um, Y'all produced a song for the Underachievers called "How We Roll," and I'm super duper curious about how that came together. Like what
Yeah,
happened with that one?
that's just from working with Y. Like YL, that's the first person we put out a song with, right? So that's like our first
Right.
collaborator. That's like so his best friend is also best friends with them. So
Yeah.
um it kind of just happened naturally. Like I remember like mind you, like I didn't make like beats like that like with their sound specifically, but we're chilling with them one day. He's like, yo, you got beats like this? I'm like, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? And so I just went home and make like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we gotta make some beats like this. So that I think that's how that went about, basically. Sometimes you gotta lie your way into things.
Yeah. 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 No, like they'll know later. Like it's
Yeah. If it works, it works.
that's
If I don't, he'll let me know.
right. Yeah. No, exactly. And then like you mentioned YL, and I was going back through Baby Man. Like y'all's album that came out that back in like what, like Baby Man was what, 2018, just about.
Something like that. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not good at telling what years or what.
Right. So there was so like the one from that I always keep coming back to is Vanilla Sky. Like
Or
I love the way Vanilla Sky sounds. I love the way it feels. It's just like it makes me feel it makes me feel like the movie doesn't make me feel. It makes me feel the exact opposite of the movie, which is a good feeling because
Word.
Vanilla
Yeah.
Sky is a fucked up movie. But like, talk to me about making Vanilla Sky.
I mean, that period of time, like, funny thing is, me and Y are kind of like in a similar bag right now. I would say, as far as like we're making a lot of music and it's just kind of like free flowing right now. But like that period of time, like I remember those sessions. Like those are the sessions where it was like I would go to Y's crib. I remember one time like I'm walking to his crib and Pasta Noose walked past me, and I'm just
Oh
like,
shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? Or like on we just had, and like that was on the way. I'm like, you know what type of a song you about to make when you on your way to your boy's house and you just randomly walk past Pasta Noose, like you're not gonna make a whack ass song. You can't, like,
Right.
so like I you know what I mean? It's on some Space Jam shit. Like what I seen Keanu Reeves on the train leaving his house for a session one night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 3 a.m. on the way back. Keanu Reeves is on the train. There's a homeless dude sleeping on him on Keanu Reeves' shoulder, and he's studying his lines in headphones, and he's letting the dude sleep on his shoulder while he studies the lines. Like I don't know, like I don't remember like the music. I remember like stuff like that happening like around that time, and it just being like it was a really funny time.
that's that's funny because that beat is very much like a that beat is very much like a study of lines while a homeless person sleeps on your shoulder type. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah, for
it's
real.
hard
Like
to explain, but that makes sense to me. You know.
yeah, I feel like one of Y's best abilities is like to make you feel like you're walking with him, just like wherever he's walking, you're walking with him, and you're seeing like the shit that he sees. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's easily one of his best abilities.
Yeah, no, he definitely makes like walking around music in that way, like especially like, yeah, like when I had him on here a while ago, like that's you know, like he did it while he was like he started out like at a store or something, and then he
Of
wound up
course,
going home. Yeah,
of
it was
course.
like a
Yeah, no, I'll pull up
yeah.
to Y's crib. I'll ring his bell, and he'll walk like he'll walk behind me. I'm like, I thought you were upstairs. He's like, Nah, I just came from over here. Now, he's always on the move, so it's
I
hilarious.
love that.
One time I was
Yeah.
waiting for him to get to his house, and I seen Drew Barrymore walk by. And I'm looking at this lady. I'm like, yo, is that Drew Barrymore? So I'm like staring hard. Like it's not like direct.
Right.
I'm kind of to the side. She's walking past, so it's not too like intense. And then like I'm like, yo, that's Drew Barrymore. And in that moment, she looked at me, and it was super awkward. But then she smiled,
Oh.
and she has a classic like iconic smile. So that's
Mhm.
another classic moment.
So okay, so I mean, like obviously, like don't put him on blast, but like, where is he living that Drew Barrymore, Paz the Noose, and Keanu Reeves are around his crib?
Yo, that's the crazy thing. Like, um, Y has like me and Y have a similar situation where it's uh, like I live in Hoboken, and
Yeah,
it's like, but I live in a rent controlled building like my whole life. You know what I mean? So it's like I see the same type of, you know what I mean? Like Eli Manning, like we got the T building. So like Y lives like the area where he lives in is similar, where it's like uh you'll see random people like that. Like I don't know, it's weird. Like
yeah, no, I get it because yeah, no, like growing because you know like growing up in Montclair and like growing up in like North Jersey in general, like you'll just see, yeah, like I went to the movies one day and like I drove past or like my family and I we drove past Stephen Colbert like going to see
word.
Men in Black 3 with his kid, you know, like
Yeah.
fucking like I've seen just like yeah, it's it's a weird space we live in, you know, like just like North Jersey and like the city. It's just like you'll just see
You
whoever.
see people, yeah. I mean, you also have to consider the amount of times I've went to Y's crib. So
Right.
like, it's like I've seen, and I've seen Michael Ealy once, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? He looks man familiar. And then as I'm thinking that, is a car stuck in traffic, and they roll their windows down, and then like, yo, you're that dude from that movie. And I was like, wow, that's my same exact thought. You're that dude from that movie. I don't know why like his name escaped me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah.
That dude from that movie is great. I'm fucking with that.
And he was like smoking a cigarette. He was like, yeah, I guess so.
Damn. Wow. That nah, I can't even.
But yeah, I think Keanu also has a spot in Jersey City. Like we were on the train back to Jersey together.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That sounds I don't know why I'm not surprised or no, I'm not surprised by that. I'm definitely not surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a Keanu vibe.
Yeah, for sure. And another one that was incredibly left field for me when I first heard it was Steal from the Enemy from Pink Sifu's Negro, where like where you're like I know y'all mostly for like mellow beat type shit, and then you
Yes.
make this and y'all and then like y'all co-produced Fuck 2 on that same album, and
Yeah.
like Fuck sounds like a black hole, and this sounds like you remember Mad Balls? Like the fucking like
Nah.
so like Mad Balls were like these super duper stylized and like designed like baseball looking things that had like faces and colors and like designs all over them and shit. Like Steal from the Enemy sounds like a Mad Balls to me. That's the only way I could describe that song. I'm gonna send you pictures later and you're
Yeah,
gonna see what
nah.
I'm talking about. But like,
Pause,
but like, yeah. but talk to me about
Mad balls
how did,
pics.
yeah, how did Steal the Enemy come together? Because that's a fucking crazy song.
Yeah, I mean that's the genius of Sifu. Like sometimes you need people to lead you that way, but like I said, Sanz like he plays all instruments and stuff, so like we kind of had stuff like that ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was actually through YL as well. We were at a session at Y's crib when we did I think Sifu's on Baby Man.
Yeah, he is.
And so we did that song. Um and like we did other stuff. We did a bunch of stuff. And then before we leave, he's like, yo, you have any punk stuff? Like rock shit? And we're just like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I guess. Like, but like we were so caught up. Like it was the most random. Because if you think like we're known for mellow shit, Sifu had like he was just this was after Ensley. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah, of course.
super laid back. So we were like, yeah, like and then to make it even crazier, he was behind like um like he made the beat sound way crazier after the fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sifu was definitely a producer in his own right. So I mean, obviously he's like, you know, he had the whole alter ego with hella beat tapes. And so
Right.
yeah, like that's another person who like making music with I've learned from just watching them and seeing how like they'll just have like certain ideas they'll have that are just like, well, I would have never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like to just flip something on its head to like really like kind of like sometimes like he'll do things where it's like he could like someone who's not as good as him would destroy it trying to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't do it correctly to be able to, you know what I mean? So but he's good enough to pull it off. That's, you know, that's part of it.
Yeah, nah, like because I come around, like I came around the Ensley time with Sifu. Like I think no, I'd heard it. I remember specifically when I first heard Ensley. I heard Ensley for the first time when I was on my way home from my sister's wedding. My sister had gotten married at the time, and I was coming home from Portland. And like I threw that on and fell asleep on the flight. And like Skinamarink, like I kind of felt like that like enhanced the experience a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But then like I went back and re-listened to it again, and I'm like, oh, like this nigga's a genius. Like, what do you know? Like that's when I was like, yeah, this is somebody special. And then like like not to focus too much on me, but like I think I interviewed him. I interviewed him about that shortly after, and I've interviewed Liv fucking like at least 5 or 6 times. Like he's the best. That's the guy right there.
Bro, he told me one time, he was like, yo, yeah, this was after Ensley, and I was like with him, whatever. He was like, yeah, yo, he was like, you're like, because we had songs, he was like, yeah, like your song. He was like, that was the last one to get cut off. I'm like, why would you tell me that, man? Why would you even say that to me? To this day, I just be thinking about that. Like, you could have left it on, bro.
That's
But
funny
nah,
as
I
hell.
mean, he made it an amazing project, so he obviously made the right decision.
Right, man. Yeah, nah. Shout out to Liv.
Dead ass.
um,
I'm like, why did you
and
tell
then
me that, man?
yeah, nah. That's like how can you not think about that for the rest of your life? Like
Yeah, I'm like, so I was
type
almost.
shit.
It's one of those things where you'd rather lose by 20 points than to lose by 1 point at the buzzer. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like yeah, no, like that's not good for your self confidence. But
Yeah.
you know, like this one, yeah, yeah. Like I feel like this one's become a pretty prominent one in the canon, the Roper Williams canon at this point. But I gotta ask about Smithsonian. I gotta ask about Sharif and fucking Gandhi Loves Children. Like like
Word.
that's a song. Like I hear it and it just makes me feel so good. Like the beats, like it just like it feels so larger than life. Like like what was it like? Yeah, it's like talk to me about making Smithsonian and like how that came about and just all that.
Yeah. Funny thing, like that beat was like, I don't even know if Fatboy knows this if I mentioned to him, but it was low key inspired by like I wanted to hear like Wayne on it, like on some like best rapper alive, like
Hmm.
that era, like I don't know. But
I can see it. That's tight.
but yeah, because Wayne always sounds cool over those type of like samples. But yeah, I don't know. Fatboy just he like when he heard the beat, like he knew what to do with it so easily and so fast. It was like it was weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was really strange. So like he knew it was like he was like, this is a single, this is the hook, like, you know what I mean? Like it was like, all right, word. Like he had the perfect vision for that song. Like it's one of those things, like it felt very organic. It felt like it was one of those songs like sometimes you make songs and like you're like, yo, this song's so close and you keep working on it. But some songs you make so easily and it doesn't even feel like they should be as good as the other ones because you didn't work on them as hard. You know what I mean? Like it came easily. But
Right.
but a lot of times those are the best songs though. Like they're what should be. You know what I mean? So I feel like that song is just a perfect example of that. And it like to me, like it was like with I was trying to do like, all right, I want to take the Ape Twin sound because I feel like Smithsonian is like the hit like the album he had before Ape Twin, like that, like Smithsonian could have fit on Ape Twin. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
so I wanted to make sure that I kept that sound alive, but I was still pushing like, let's do, like loops and stuff like that too. So yeah, I think that was the thought process before that. Like, I mean, for that beat.
Yeah. Nah. It's yeah. I hear. Yeah. Like I hear it, and it's just like a. That's like theme song music. Like it sounds like a. Even if he wasn't on it, like that's very much like he's as responsible for like how that song feels as y'all
Yeah,
are. But
no,
like
that could definitely be like
like
a WWE theme song, like the
oh
glass breaks, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes, like that starts
hell
playing.
yeah,
He
yo
performed in
like
Times Square recently,
oh yeah, I
and
was there for that.
I pulled up late, so I'm trying to find the stage, and I'm like 2 blocks away, and I hear the Smithsonian beat, and I was like, wow, like you're saying, it felt like theme song music. I was getting closer to the thing, like that was a cool moment, like to hear Smithsonian blasted, like you could hear it from 2 blocks away in Times Square. That was fire.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. And then perfect segue into this last one before we get into Infinite Victory Loop, because Sharif mentions playing in Times Square on Palace from Infinite Victory Loop.
Yeah,
And like of course, like like he was telling me this like right after it happened. Or no, right after I'll get into that later. But fucking yeah, talk to me about like we'll get to the whole project, but like talk to me about Palace in particular, because that one's my favorite of all the songs on there.
word.
It's
Thank you.
just
Um, yeah, Palace. Like it's just one of those big. Like I was actually really surprised because the process was like I got them all together and they have to pick the beats. Like I didn't go in with those. Like these are the 6 beats. Like you know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
unrealistic. I had to have like 100 beats for them or whatever. So I was surprised when they picked that one because it's an extremely busy beat to have 3 people on, but like I don't know, their voice or 4 people on. So it's like their voices are so crazy that it held it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm glad they picked that beat, but that's a high energy beat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, like that's like an extreme loop type of thing. It's like, uh, um, where it could be annoying. Like, it could be an annoying beat with the wrong people on it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? Certain things are like that. Like, what's that beat? Him, and her, or whatever. That old Rockefeller beat.
oh yeah. Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it got beat to death, but like some of the like certain times, like certain people hopped on it, and I'm like, this beat is so good. And then certain people hopped on it, and I'm like, please change this immediately.
yeah,
So I honestly think certain beats are like that. You know, even some of the best beats or some of
yeah.
my
Nah,
favorite.
like right, yeah, no, like yeah, no, like if it's like the perfect or like the worst match, like it really will change the way you feel about it. But like I don't know, like to me, like that's like the type of thing, and you could just leave. I could leave that on for 5 minutes by itself and not get annoyed by it. I mean, like I know people have like 'cause, like that's sax. Like people have a weird relationship with saxophones, I guess.
For
But
real, they
I don't
do.
know. I wouldn't be mad if that was just like a I mean, like obviously Pootie, AKAI, YL, and Sharif did great on it, but like if you just put it out like as
Yeah.
is, like like for it, like 3 minutes of that, I'm cool.
Word, yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do the instrumentals on the vinyl, so you will have that. But
All right, cool.
yeah, I mean, well, when we made all the songs, we had to listen to all the beats for like 2 hours straight because they're writing to them, like, you know what I mean? So
Right.
uh yeah, it definitely is a beat. I mean, I've heard each beat on the album for like 10,000 hours each at this point.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So so now I want to ask, like, like this is like all this music was recorded like peak pandemic around 2020. Like what like and on top of that, it was recorded over 2 12-hour sessions. So it's not like y'all
Yes.
spaced it out. It was like 2 marathon sessions. Like
Hmm.
that's an insane way to create. So like was did y'all initially come together with the idea to make a project, or did it like turn into a project over the course of the sessions? Like,
Yeah, yeah. What we didn't get together to make a project. Like, really, we got together because those are the 4 dudes who I have the most music with. You know what I
right,
mean? Like, whether it's released or unreleased, I have like 50 songs with each of them at least. So
right,
um, it was just like fun. Like, to me, it was just like this will be fun. Like, they're all like hilarious people, like in completely different ways. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So um, I don't know. That was just really about fun and just like it was literally on some anime like power friendship, like shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? In my head it was. So yeah, we had the first session. I picked everybody up. I drove and picked everybody up. So I had to get, you know what I'm saying? I'm hitting all the boroughs and middle of Jersey, everything. So um that alone takes like 2 hours before I even get to of driving before I get to the session. Um So we have this. So it's like, nah, this is gonna be a long ass session because I got to drive another 2 hours to end it.
right,
So yeah, we do all the songs. I don't even know how many songs we did, and then but because of the nature of it, nobody claimed the songs. So it was just we had a bunch of songs. So I told him I was like, yo, let's just do this one more time. Let's do the same thing, and we'll have a tape. Like, you know what I mean? And so and I'll take care of it. You guys won't have to do it, like, you know what I mean, because they all are, focused on dropping their albums, which are as they should be. So
right.
yeah, that's how I got it. And like you could ask any producer, it's hard to get verses from rappers, no matter how many beats you made for them. Like they could be your neighbor and your best friend. Like it's just hard to do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So because it just is. And like and when you're doing it, first of all, you're giving me like control of your image. Basically, I can make you look bad if I mess this up. So
Type shit.
it's a lot of trust involved. So I appreciated them all for doing that for sure.
Yeah, nah, it was, like it's a lot of trust involved with stuff like that. And, it's just the thing that's really gotten me about it is the fact that y'all recorded this 3 years ago and it sounds like you made it last week. Like I know things have kind of been like on the upswing for all of y'all. And before I even move on, I want to shout out Pootie in particular because like Pootie's fucking dope. He's I feel like I've been seeing his name. I feel like I've been seeing lots of like, who's this Pootie dude around? So like,
Yes.
yeah, nah, like it's like like he's the one. Like relatively speaking, he's the one with the quote unquote smallest image of everybody
Yeah.
involved. But like, it's just dope to see him like get a little shine off of this. Like, just shout out to Pootie.
Like when he comes on the songs, like he has like the biggest voice. Like his voice, like him
Yeah,
on Palace is like that's like run straight up a mountain music. Like you know what I mean? Like so. Yeah. Shout out to
yeah,
Pootie for sure.
yeah. No, I just wanted to say that because yeah, he deserves a shine. But yeah, nah, like what what was I gonna ask? Where my brain go just now?
You were saying it was from 2019 or whatever.
Right. So what? So like why you held on to this for 3 years? why
Um,
why was now the time to put it out?
that's kind of how I do everything. Like I'm kind of notorious for that. Like I'm gonna take 2 years to do something at least, and then because of just like it was honestly difficult because it's like if you really think about it, the album's not about anything. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
The four rappers are all completely different, and so it's like how do I brand it? You know what I mean? What do I call it? Well, like which songs do I pick out of? Because we have more songs than that. Like you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I just wasn't rushing it. I was going real slow with it. Like by the time I released it, I knew exactly how good it was. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't uncertain. I wasn't, oh, I hope people like this. I just knew if I made a good video and I could just, you know what I mean, like have some type of rollout and get people to see it, people will like it because it's good. Like the verses on the album are so crazy. Like I've heard the verses so many times and it's like I'm still blown away. Like you know what I mean? Like it's because I honestly feel that being in the room all together brought something out of them, like a competitive nature that they all have that they don't always lean into necessarily. So like Fatboy's not competitive at all. Like he refuses to compete with people. Like you know what I mean? He don't play video games. He's not gonna. He like you know what I mean? He just doesn't care. He's not trying to be better than there's no rapper he's looking at like I gotta sell more than him or I gotta make a song better than him. Like he just doesn't compete. I love to compete, like you know what I mean? Like so I think just bringing it out of him and bringing that like all of them, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It pushed them to go like to nobody wants to get killed. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's like we're all gonna be on the song and like they're not. It's not their songs. I'm in control of it, so they know they need to kill it because they're gonna lose control of it. If they have a whack ass verse, they're either gonna have to admit to me, yo, that verse was whack. Can you take it off? Or I'm gonna leave it on. Like you know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, and embarrassed on some real.
Like nobody's
That's how
trying
you
to
know
get.
y'all are.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you know y'all are real friends. Like you will leave some
100%.
shit on there and just like let people be like, yeah, you hold that.
Yeah, like
you don't need people to tell you that shit's whack.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. It like overall, it was a fun ass experience. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like and you can tell like that's the thing. Like it feels communal in that way. Like it really like if I had no idea, I would guess that y'all hold away and just like did this for 2 days. Like that's like like it gives me that kind of vibe. Like it feels kind of spontaneous and just like it's fun, you know, like you said, like the songs aren't
Yeah,
about anything. It's just people, it's just, you know, like it's nice to just it's nice to step back and just like let people just rap and like make
yeah,
beats and like not have it, you know, like obviously things mean things, and it's nice to listen to like meaningful, important music and shit, but like, you know, like I'm not always in the mood to listen to something that's like gonna uplift me. Sometimes I just want to hear people just go crazy,
yeah.
you know, like
Or
that's
make me feel sad too, because I like sad music and I like
right.
calm music, but I can't always listen to it, like, you know what I mean? And it's like
Same.
for the tape, I had songs that were like kind of deeper, more introspective that they did, but I like the way I'm seeing it, it's like to me it wasn't real. Like as a listener, I don't want to like it's for alpha males, like you know what I mean? Like I described, like I posted that picture when I dropped the video, the One Piece, where it's all these different captains that are of the best crews of the worst generation. These are all captains, like you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
so are the captains really gonna all get together and be introspective? They might be introspective when they're chilling with Nami or Robin. Like, yo, you know what, Nami? Like, I know your past was crazy, my past too. Like, listen to this, Robin, dark childhood, my childhood. You know what I mean? But like the four captains, when they're linking up, it's to discuss battle plans or it's to eat. That's why the cover is them eating. Like, you know what I mean? The cover is the cover like because I'm like, yo, what should I make the cover? You know what I mean? So I was watching Beverly Hills Cop. Oh, where is this is real notes. I was watching Beverly Hills Cop, and if you it's the scene when he goes to the museum, and
Yeah.
there's a piece in the museum where it's like it's some it's some kind of stupid shit where it's like it's dudes sitting at the table. It's kind of like mannequins sitting at a table, and there's like human heads like on the table. So it's people eating people, I think, something like that. So I made it into to rat like rabbits. I'll send you the picture, like the reference picture, whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
please.
because it's just like at the end of the day, to me, the album was just about like we're eating first, like you know what I mean, like, and we're eating the most, like you know what I mean, like because you guys can't, because you can't stop us from eating, like you know what I mean.
Right.
So and as even though I said it was competitive, it wasn't like really against each other. At the end of the day, we're eating together. We're not eating. We're not trying to kill each other like that. You know what I mean? So we are all friends. So that's why the cover was what it was. But yeah, you
Right.
said you asked me why it took so long as well. Like one of the reasons I wasn't in a rush because I'm like all these dudes like I peep their trajectory, like you know what I mean. So I'm like
Right.
it's just gonna be bigger if I wait. It was that simple too. I didn't have to rush. Like I didn't gain anything from it. The only danger was that they would get too big. And then I'd be like, yo, we can't put that out. I'm signed to Def Jam. Or like, you know what I mean? Like that was the only that
Right.
was the only danger. There was a pressure there,
Right.
like, all right, I do have to release this. But
But nah, I think, you know, like I think this came out at the perfect time. You know, like I think everyone, you know, like everyone's at a level right now. Like YL's been going crazy the last 2 years in particular. Like
yeah,
Sharif, like Sharif had his biggest year ever. He just put out an album on Backwoods.
yeah.
Akai put
I
his
just did
album out on
backwards.
Backwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like and yeah, you know, like Pootie's on his way up. You know, like it
Yep.
just like this felt like the perfect time to just kind of have y'all come together and like do this, you know, like and once again, you know, like this is like that's what I liked about the new Mike album so much. You know, like Burning Desire is like very much like a, you know, like he's like introspective and thoughtful, but like there's a song on here where he's talking about like I got flying bitches out money, and I'm like I've never heard Mike say anything like that
Yeah.
before. You know, like
Yeah.
he was on his like gully shit for a minute, and I
That
was like, you know, you don't really hear him do that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
That was a fun album as well. Like obviously Mike is one of the best at being introspective and all that type of shit. But he's also really good at making fun music. So
yeah,
I think that album displayed it. I just bumped that album like 2 days ago. I
yeah.
was
No,
like, damn, this is crazy. And he's
I
one
was
of
just
the best
listening.
producers.
Oh, bro, those Black Power beats are so
Yeah.
crazy. Like, yeah, I was just listening to Burning Desire. Like, I've been listening. I drove out to go to the movies. I went to the theater near my crib, and yeah, I was like bumping fucking Burning Desire on the Garden State Parkway, and it sounded, you know, like I should be doing that. You know, like
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was like being a contrarian. It felt like natural. You know, like, not to say that I wouldn't do that. You know, like, I'm the type who will like bump whatever. I'll bump whatever. I don't give a fuck. But like,
Yeah,
it was, you know, like, that's just, you know, that's just it's just nice to kind of have that balance in there. And, you know, like, just like, and like, everyone, if everyone feels so loose right now, you know, like, you know, like Mike and Niante and Earl and Cousteau just put out that real hip hop shit today that sounds great. You know, like, y'all
word.
got this. And it's just like, you know, to kind of bring this in, like at, way earlier, you mentioned a bunch of other people that you work with, and just like in general, you know, like people like Iblis and people like No Face and people like, you know, like, there's just like so many producers that y'all
Yep.
work with. And and like, I wanted to kind of hone in on, like, you know, like, y'all, I mean, like, producers have always been stars in their own right. You know, like, there's like so many I could sit here and name, but it feels like at this moment there are so, you know, like, y'all are at a point where, you know, like, most of y'all have released your own like individual project. Like, you have this one. Iblis put out his son project a
Yep.
while back. You know, like, No Face has so many. And, you know, there's just so, you know, like, y'all have so much of a presence. And people, like, you know, like, I see it, like, people come up to you at shows talking about some, like, oh, Roper, I love your shit. And like, I know you're shy and shit, but like, it's just like, it's really cool to me that we're in a position where people are coming up to, looking up to, writing at, wanting to talk to producers as much as they want to talk to the rappers. You know, like, y'all
Yeah.
have always deserved your respect, but like, it's at a point now where, you know, like, even if it's somebody like, you know, people like really appreciating what Mike does as DJ Black Power, like, you know, like, it just feels to me like there's more of an emphasis and more attention being paid to what y'all do as producers. And not even just when it comes to the beats, but just like how you move, how you organize, you know, like organizing this whole the whole 12-hour sessions thing, you know, like, y'all, you know, like,
Yeah.
people, I feel like people are like openly claiming how much y'all do publicly. It's weird. I don't know. Like, it just feels like y'all are at a, like, the respect level feels a little higher for me. And, you know, like, as a fan and as someone who like knows you pretty well, it's just nice to see people be like, Roper's doing
Yeah.
good. You know, like,
Nah,
that's cool.
you know what it is? I think like a lot of us like came up on um Kanye and Pharrell.
Yeah,
So and even Swiss and Timbaland and those are they're the mega producers of their era and they were all on the mic. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so but I feel like a lot of us learned from that where it was like you have to kind of take the power somehow. Like you have to market and brand yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Um like if I would have put just if the cover would have just been pictures of them four, it might not have been looked at as a Roper album. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
like it's stuff like that where it's like you got to kind of be mindful that like you say that the producers get more love, but generally people don't really give a fuck about producers. And I think it's natural. I think we're like I signed up to be a producer because of that. You know what I mean? Like I like being behind the scenes. I can't be mad that like after if I work in the if I'm the dude that pulls the ropes for a play, I can't be mad if no one asks for my autograph after the play and they want
right, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that this is the part I enjoy. So like yeah, we do get more love, but it is like when I'm with Fatboy, when I'm with Akai, when I'm with Y, when I'm with any of these dudes, people come up to them. Like you know what I mean? Like they're excited to see them. And that like to me, like that is just it's awesome to see. Like it's so fire to see that like how excited people are to talk to them and like like I don't know. It's just really awesome to see. Like like it's awesome when people come up to me too and they know the beat stuff and too. Like, but that just most likely means they're a nerd just like me. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're just super into it. And they're looking at credits and they're looking at all that type of stuff. I think but yeah, I think it's a big credit to those four producers, Swiss, and Alk too. Alchemist is also a dude
Absolutely.
who's a rapper and was on the mic. So, and they're all students of Premier and Pete Rock and Large Pro and RZA and all that. So,
Right. Yeah,
and Prince
nah,
and
it's
Prince Paul, who was at
and
you and Fatboy's interview.
yeah,
I
which
met
I'm
Prince
still
Paul
like,
at that. That was amazing.
that's so wild. Yeah, no, Sharif was like, yeah, I'm gonna call Prince Paul. I'm like, yeah, right. And then, and like
Yeah,
as we're about to start, like I walk past and like he's at the door, and I just like, I had like a million things I wanted to tell him, and I was just like, I love your work. Thank you for being. I was
yeah,
like in the middle. I was trying to
yeah,
start it. I didn't. This is crazy.
yeah. I completely chickened out of saying anything at all. So at least you tried to say something. Because he walked up like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm Paul." I'm like, "All right, man, you Prince Paul." Like,
Like, you fucking legend, like Jesus Christ. But yeah, nah, like it's like and yeah, I'm happy you mentioned Alk and really all of them, like I feel like every single one of them you mentioned, Pharrell, Kanye, Timbaland, Alk. You mentioned somebody else. I'm forgetting who was in that
Swiss
initial
Beats.
five. Swiss Beats, there we go. I have a lot of feelings about Swiss Beats,
I
but
was
he's
gonna say,
definitely,
yeah, there's mixed
yeah,
feelings on Swiss.
but like he's an icon, like you can't
Yes,
take that away from Swiss Beats. But like
I'm
like
a
they're
Swiss Beats defender for the record. I'm a Swiss Beats defender
That's I mean he's got some shit. He
for
definitely has
sure,
some shit.
for
But
sure.
like them five, like they're all yeah. I mean like you gotta count Kanye too. But like like them five are really examples of like longevity. Like Pharrell's still extremely relevant. Kanye for a lot of reasons is still extremely relevant. Timbaland has also like especially recently like he's kind
Yeah,
of been popping up a lot of places, like and like of course, Alchemist is for us is the easy one because like he kind of
yeah,
like he was making different music 15 years ago, and like
for
yeah,
sure.
like he's not making We Gonna Make It anymore. He's not making Hold
Hmm.
You Down anymore. Like nothing he's making now sounds anything like that.
Yep.
Like he's not making music for D Block at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. He hits us with a
And
few. He hits us with a few here and there.
yeah, every once in a while, like but like it's like that longevity is really cool, and it's nice to see y'all kind of establishing yourselves and not needing to be on the mic to do that. Like you have like there is a Roper Williams voice and you're not on the mic,
Yeah,
like on when it comes to music, and like there's definitely something to say, or like that's something to take pride in, just the
yeah.
fact that like
But I think I
yeah,
would say what it comes down to, because it was kind of my point before, but I couldn't really get to it, was like I just couldn't figure out how to word it. Was it comes down to the fact that the rappers need to like rappers have championed me. Those dudes that are on Infinite Victory Group have all championed me and my name and put it out there. So like it kind of comes down to them, unless you're on the beat tape scene and you get it that way. You know what I mean? But
right,
it comes down to being like, okay, like, all right, this is Fatboy Sharif and Roper Williams, Gandhi Love Children. Like it's stuff like that where you start getting, the name recognition because your name is actually, you don't have to look to the credits. Like
right,
I when I uploaded Infinite Victory Loop, I'm uploading it and it was like, I uploaded it and it was like, you're finished. And then it was like, do you want to add more? And it was like, I'm like, yes, because I still haven't added the producer credits. Why does it say I'm finished? You know what I mean? And I just realized then why I'm never on produced by. If you go on Spotify, people always leave that out. It's because they let
yeah,
you finish it before you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when your name is in the title, that doesn't matter.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it comes from, the rappers helping it. The rappers need to help it. So
Right. Yeah,
I
no,
appreciate those dudes.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Not symbiotic because that means that one part of the shit like needs it. But like I'm blanking on the word, but like y'all are like feeding into each other and
Mhm.
like giving it's equal amounts of give and take there, and that's just really dope to me. I
For
don't know.
sure.
I just love to see that. I feel like we could go for another 2 hours easy, but um but fucking but to bring this full circle, Roper, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
Oh man. it would probably be about like civilization ended and then it kind of started again. But it kind of all it all depends on me, and I kind of am responsible for restarting civilization without really trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't my intention. It was just kind of like what I was put here for. So I guess kind of like a new religion type movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jesus 3.0 or something. You know, something like that. Something like that.
Roper Williams presents The Holy Mountain.
Something like that. That was just playing in the IFC theater.
Oh yeah, I man, watching fucking. I've only seen. I saw Holy Mountain once at a friend's house and once in college. I've never seen that in the theater. I don't know if I'd be able to handle watching that movie in the theater.
Yeah. I considered going, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go see that. I was a thought. It's in it, but that's a visual stunner right there.
Yeah, great movie. Just super. Like, if you're not in the mood to be like inundated with visuals, like that's like that's like a like you could. Like, that movie's a drug trip. Like, you don't gotta take drugs. Like, don't take drugs
No,
before
yeah,
you watch The Holy Mountain,
yeah.
please. Like,
Weed
don't.
maximum.
Yeah, weed maximum. Yeah, no, like no, yeah, no, like don't hit no stains. Don't hit anything. Like, just go watch it. Watch The
You know,
Holy Mountain.
you know, you know what I would also say though. I would like. I mean, if the technology permits it, it would have to be a little better. But one of those movies like Space Jam where there's animation involved with the real life stuff, and you can kind of mix some Pokemon in there with that.
Oh hell yeah,
I
no,
would
let's
throw
go.
that into my like. So like, all right, I restart civilization, and I'm kind of like, you know, let's say Christ-like, but there's also Pokemon and um perfect weather. No snow, no deserts, and
So okay, so
no child actors. Those are my like. I don't watch movies with child actors because they're not that good at acting, and I don't watch movies with too much sand like Dune, and I don't watch movie
too
with
much sand.
yeah, because I just I can't enjoy it, and if it's too cold, it's a lot for me. Like Fargo is all right, but you know.
Fargo's tight.
Yeah, but
So
aside from that, like I can't do the cold weather. Fargo has the nice,
okay,
charming accents. That's why it gets away with it.
Minnesota. Yeah, no, fucking So you never seen The Day After Tomorrow? Then I
No,
assume.
of course I've seen that. Yeah, for sure. But that's like I love disaster movies for absolutely no reason. Like I said, I'm kind of like post-apocalyptic vibe with this
Mm-hmm.
film. But
Yeah.
it's not too run down. Like people disappeared, but not as corny as that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. Who would your starter be, since you mentioned Pokemon?
It got to be Bulbasaur. You know what
Okay.
I mean? It's just plants are so important. And then the water Pokemon, they need water anyway. So it's like, are you really bringing something to the table? Uh, yeah, I got to go Bulbasaur, man.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Who
For that,
who did you go with?
damn, I like, if it were that specific situation, I'd probably say Squirtle, because I feel like Squirtle can like create water, but like obviously Squirtle and them are more powerful when they're near the water. But like like I would either say Squirtle, or like if I want to completely cheat, I would just say like Lucario would be a starter for me. But like, you can't start with fucking Lucario. Like, that's just
No,
not how
yeah,
that works.
you kind of have to
But
earn that via
yeah,
leveling up.
yeah,
No,
nah, but
yeah, I
like
mean,
for
because
me,
I'm thinking about harvesting here. We got what he got the Bulbasaur has the seed move. So
right,
now I don't have to hire, you know, farmers, and I don't know how to farm myself. So
right,
Bulbasaur,
yeah, nah, like
you got some work to do, buddy. Let's get a garden
right,
going.
because
Get
yeah,
some tomatoes out there.
you just gotta wonder to yourself, like, do you want food more or do you want water more? But like,
Well,
I think you
tomatoes
yeah,
can hydrate. Tomatoes can hydrate. There's certain things.
true.
Come on, you know.
Damn, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Fuck it. Yeah, nah, yeah, okay.
I hate
Yeah.
tomatoes, but fuck it.
I hate tomatoes when they're too watery. I
Yes,
love yeah, just like
tomatoes on the burger are a no go for me.
yeah, I'm same here. Nah, like I love sun-dried tomatoes. I love like salsa and shit like that, but
Yes,
I just like but yeah, nah, like I'm not trying to have like a big ass thick slice of tomato. Like
yeah,
it overpowers everything and it makes everything like soppy and nasty. No, I don't want that.
I'm a big believer on like there's certain things I'll leave that for when I'm 85 years old. That'll
Yeah.
be new when I'm 85. Oh man, tomatoes are great. This is new, but right now that's not a part of my life.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fucking with that. Um Roper, god damn, thank you so much.
Yo,
This is a
pleasure.
journey.
Thank you for inviting me on the show. You know, it's always a fun. We always have a good time when we converse, and we didn't get into no drag race talk. Actually, I just thought about that.
Damn. Oh, yeah, nah, because I just finished or I didn't just finish, but the fucking what's it called? The last season of All Stars is
Word, I don't know if I beat
yeah,
that yet. I'm sure my girl
yeah.
has.
Yeah, nah, yeah, we just gotta save it for next time. Fuck it. Yeah,
For
nah, like
sure, yeah.
yeah. I guess I should say that. Yeah, no, like every time we I introduced my girlfriend Desiree to Roper, and like Des and I there was a period of like 2 months where Desiree was watching nothing but Drag Race and Drag Race All Stars, and you know, like they watched Drag Race and Drag Race All Stars a lot. So like we were at the secret pour, and you know, like Des and Roper were just having this 15-minute conversation about drag queens, and it was just amazing to be there and just like watch it
Yeah,
happen.
man.
So
That
you know,
yeah, that shit is art and performance as well. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah, no, it's yeah, no, it's big time. I've done drag a couple times, and it's really like amateur all the way, but like it's like that's work, you know. Like you put a
Peace.
lot, people put a lot into that shit, and
Nah,
I
because
just
you see the before and after with the makeup, and you're like, that's a different person right there. That is skill. And then, but
mm-hmm,
sometimes, because when you see it done at the super high levels, it's like, what the hell? Because you'll see it next to someone who's not as good, so you'll see the
right.
skill where it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah, facts. And one thing I love is like Drag Race doesn't do the thing where like, you know, like they don't rush people. Like you know how on like most reality shows it'd be like, oh, you got to make like a whole 16 layer cake in like
Yeah,
25 minutes, you know, type shit. And like
yeah,
this is just
yeah.
like, nah, like you take your time, do everything. We want you looking perfect.
They don't want
So
them to
like,
look too bad. They don't want them to look too bad. They do have the quick drag challenges. I will say that, but
right,
overall,
yeah.
they're kind of manageable. Like it's not like because I had an older sister growing up, the top model, when they would like drench them in water and
Uh-huh.
then like throw like mud at them and be like, oh, model. It's like it's tough to pull that off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, no, like most of the time outside of like the quick ones, it's just like, yeah, no, yeah, no, like if you look cracked, it's your fault, you know, like
Yes, it's because you can't sew or something.
right. Yo, son. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far, and shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.